Hey guys, it's me again, Workler What Ifs. I found a thing from the bucket. And this is one I've actually had on my mind for a while. What if Deku was Scorpion? My version. Yeah. So, to kick it off, we'll start with the Shirai Ryu. If you don't know who Scorpion is, he's a Mortal Kombat character. His family dies, he becomes a revenant, goes on to kill a bunch of Lin Kuei, works for a guy called Quan Chi, and so on and so on. If you know who he is, yay. So, as we get started, when Deku's born, he's born to Shirai Ryu. His father is more specifically part of the Shirai Ryu, and his mother marries into it. If you don't know, the Shirai Ryu are, well, assassins for hire. And now, this is how I'll play it off. The Shirai Ryu and the Lin Kuei have both been a part of the world for an extreme long amount of time. But when they each start to have quirk spear, Shirai Ryu are pretty much all their people who have quirks are ones who deal with fire and such. While the Lin Kuei have ones that mainly deal with ice, are the ones that are born with quirks. But they do still use technology, like if you know Sector, Cyrax, and a few of them like have weird quirks like smoke. As they all have their thing, like Sector has pyrokinesis, which is why he has the flamethrowers, is that he uses it as he shoots it, he manipulates it. And this was a decision on the Lin Kuei's part to keep him part of it, is that, well, if the Shirai Ryu just start blasting fire, he can divert the flames back to them, or hold them at bay for at least some extent. Sector Cyrax is just a normal guy, but he uses technology. There's still Sub-Zero and Tundra, or Bihan and Kuai Liang, which Kuai Liang is the good Sub-Zero, Bihan is the prick who's Sub-Zero, the older one. So as this is happening, Deku's born, and he goes throughout the years. From an early age until, from the beginning of 5, he's taught, when he's 5, he's taught small things about the Shirai Ryu business, which is assassination. And the Shirai Ryu and the Lin Kuei, when it became prominent, like with heroes, they realized, oh, this is more advantageous, so they kind of took away from tradition, so they went from being assassins to heroes primarily, and other things like hero gear and such. They became very wealthy, while the Shirai Ryu stayed much like the Yakuza and such, that they were very underground business, and they had a hidden place where they all went. And to explain, Sub-Zero, the titles of Sub-Zero and Scorpion are reserved for the best. For the best of the best when it comes to either side. Scorpion is known, and the Shirai Ryu are known for the specialties and the rope spear, which is what Scorpion used for the get over here. But I digress. Deku, from a young age, is trained up, and when his quirk finally manifests, it's known as pyrokinesis and such. He can teleport with fire. He can pretty much do a lot of things with fire. Fireballs, fire swords, fire breath, and even teleportation. He is much like Ace in that matter. But the fire is going to be a lot more difficult, because when it comes to fire, he turns his entire body to flames and teleports away. But that is a very difficult move to pull off, so he has to practice that constantly. Because if he messes up slightly, he could be his bones could be fused together, his organs could be fused together. It's a very difficult maneuver to pull off, so he doesn't try to use it. Unlike many people who spam it in Mortal Kombat Online. But I'm not salty about that, no. As we continue forward, they continue his training. He's trained in martial arts, using the rope, spear, swords. He's also given an education, yeah. And he keeps on working. He even has a little brother. His father, Hisashi, and his mother Inko. Inko is more or less one of the caretakers. Like, she preps food, does anything pretty much like a normal housewife, I guess, for Japanese culture, I guess. Then his father's like one of the top rank assassins. He's sent out on a mission to go assassinate. Well, is sent on a mission to go assassinate a hero known as. Sorry, he's sent on a mission to go kill. What's his name? I'm trying to remember. Just some like a group of random heroes. As he's sent off, he does it very quietly. Now, as he's sneaking up, the Lin Kuei have also heard reports that the Shirai Ryu are going to attempt to kill this guy, so they have an escort for him. A few ninjas. As he's about to make his pounce, the two Lin Kuei jump, like, it's Sector and Cyrax. He's like, you thought you could get him? Shirai Ryu, dog. It's like, Lin Kuei's come, if you ever seen it. It's like, we'll kill you now. As they prepare to fight, Hazashi uses his flame breath real quick. Sector easily using his pyrokinesis and such, I forget, fire manipulation, and just tosses the flame aside using it. With Sector rushing in with his saw and just launches the net and the saw. Hazashi barely dodges it and grabs the end of it where the saw comes out, because it's like a saw that like has a I don't know, a thing coming out, so that way he can get longer reach. As it comes out, he grabs his arm and slices it off. With Sector coming in using his flamethrower and hitting Hazashi in the arm. He screaming out in pain, because why wouldn't he? Then blowing fire right in Sector's eyes, causing him extreme pain. He's like, dang it, my eyes! As he's like throwing around and shooting flames at random. Like, dang it, Cyrax, get him! As he's rubbing his eyes, trying to shake off the whole thing. Cyrax ends up coming closer. And as he hits him and takes the two of them down, he can't kill him now. His target is getting away. So as he runs away, running after this hero, as the hero's out in the open, he uses his rope spear and it goes straight through the guy. This is a very difficult maneuver. He throws it with such force it goes straight through him, and then he yanks him up. Not yanks him up. He's like behind him by a distance. He's like, get over here, and yanks him backwards, causing the dude to fall backwards. Hazashi comes forward and he's like, the Shirai Ryu have marked you for death, and quickly execute him. As Sector and Cyrax come, like, no, dang it. As Hazashi then at this point quickly jumps over and then makes his escape. Like, he jumps up the building and then runs away. Like, Sector and Cyrax have to then go back and like tell the Grandmaster that they had failed. Sub-Zero and Smoke. Well, Sub-Zero's like, two were weak. It was one Shirai Ryu and you failed. It's like, as he's looking at him, you also got beat up. Could have killed you two if you wanted to. You need more training. As he like kneels before the Grandmaster, I have succeeded in my mission. Shirai Ryu assassin was thwarted. We should just kill him now. Now I'll say this, the Lin Kuei aren't all innocent. They have, they do underworld stuff, such as assassinations and such. They aren't all innocent. That's why they have, instead of just the primarily blue color scheme and such, they have other ones that are, more specialized for the killing and such. So, yeah. As they're doing this, Hazashi is, Scorpion's real name, if I remember correctly, so that's why I'm getting so confused. Hisashi comes home. Hisashi, give me a second. He returns home from his assassination mission and reports to his Grand Master, kneeling before him, saying that he has completed the assassination target. That the Lin Kuei had tried to interfere, but he had managed to just barely scrap by. He's like, tell me, Hisashi, what were these Lin Kuei's names? Sector and Cyrax. It's like, these two are a team. They have thwarted us many times. Return home, Hisashi. I'll call for you when I have more work. He's like, yes, Grandmaster. Giving a bow. As he walks home and such, Deku comes running to him like, Dad! Like, him and his brother. Deku at this point is 10 years old. Comes rushing over and jumps on Hisashi's leg. He's like, Deku, what are you doing? As he brings him and his brother up and says hi to Inko. And they all have a nice dinner. Later on that year, there has been more altercations with the Lin Kuei and the Shirai Ryu. Deku coming to not Deku, but Hisashi coming to blows with several of the Lin Kuei and killing several of them. This is starting to breed more anger and hatred in the Lin Kuei. For us, why don't we just find out where they are and kill the clan? Grandmaster saying that is not our way, with several of the higher-ups feeling quite different. Those along the lines with Sector, who has had to get eyes replacement, like cybernetics, since he got fire blown in his eyes, so he had to get cybernetics to replace them. And Sector, Cyrax, and Sub-Zero. Tundra and Smoke are ones on the opposite end saying we shouldn't do that. That's not our way. Sub-Zero and some of them calling the others weak. So this is starting to create a divide in the Lin Kuei. The Shirai Ryu are pretty much united though. And as Deku's getting training from his father, Deku is quite big for his age. Like, I'll say his father's like 6'3", and Deku's like 12? I'll say he's like 5'6". No, is that a good age? Good height? Well, I'll say at this point he's like 14, so I'll say he's like 5'8". As he's training and such with his father, he's like kicking and such. As Hisashi just easily starts like dismantling his technique, like kicks him in the leg, kicks him in the stomach, then uppercuts him. Deku's like, oh. It's like, Deku, you must be more prepared than that. Come, again. And he's like, as he just like finally gets irritated after a little bit, he just uses, finally, for the first time, he has had his quirk fire punches and such. He hasn't been using it though. He trains it on his own time. He dedicates this time to fighting, using techniques and such of the Shirai Ryu. He uses his teleportation as he's like, thinking that he wants to appear behind his father. As he teleports away, then it comes back and like uses fire punches like 1, 2, 3. As he kicks his father in the leg, punches him in the face, and then just easily just punches him in the face, cracking his jaw. As he's about to get on top of his father, his father, Hisashi, does a little twirl and just kicks Deku right in the chest, sending him flying backwards. Ooh. Hisashi's like wiping a bit of blood off his face. He's like, good job, Deku. Very interesting way to use her quirk. Tell me, have you done that before? He's like, one other time. He's like, explain to me what happened. He's like, well, we were running around and then like this wolf came out of nowhere and tried biting one of his friends. I'll say this friend is I don't got a name. Nobody. Just like one of the kids from the village. As he saw the kid about to be bitten, he grabbed the kid and then teleported away with them. And like, Is the kid alright? He's like, yeah, we got away from the wolf, that's all. It's like, well done, Deku. Hone your skills, and you hone your ability with your quirk. You can be quite deadly, my son. It's like, yes, father. His brother at this point, who was like 7, is also slightly training. He's like throwing like little punches and such, and just playing around typically. Deku walking in his mother, like Deku, and he is getting an education, like I said. Another year or so passes. This is like one of the times when it's about 15 when they have their first mission assigned to them. Sub-Zero's around Deku's age. So is Smoke. As they're like training and such, Deku's training with a bunch of the other ones, and this year he's made leaps and bounds with his techniques. He combining his fire and his teleportation to his best ability, using takedowns and uppercutting with Fire Fist, and causing several people have burn marks from where their training sessions with Deku has ended. He, at this very young age, which I believe I said he's 14, has become one of the best fighters. Those only like able to go like toe to toe with him in a serious fight being his father. The Grandmaster is old at this point, so his father and several other high-ranking clan members. So at this point, Deku's training very hard. Tundra and Smoke at this point are also training hard. They wanting to become heroes. Unlike with several others, they want to become heroes. Smoke's ability, I don't know exactly Smoke's ability. I think it gives him like speed and such. I'm not entirely sure. I think it gives him speed, and he can use the smoke to like make a bunch of smoke screens and such. Gives him speed, teleportation, that sort of stuff. He can like turn to smoke. Then Tundra has just cryomancy, which is ice swords, ice shields. He can freeze people, that sort of thing. They're both honing their skills, both using each one to their advantage. Tundra using his frost burst to like keep Smoke on his feet from just trying to teleport behind him, because he uses that anytime he tried teleport behind him. He uses the ice burst to just blast him back. Then he using in with a slide and fire and like ice ball to like freeze him. Those two fighting for like an hour or two on end. With at this point Sector and Cyrax and all of them have gotten a few more altercations with the Shirai Ryu. Quite a few of them dying. It's just breeding more and more hate for the Shirai Ryu. With the with the Shirai Ryu also losing some members, also like adding these like must get vengeance for this. Each clan doesn't know exactly why they still hate each other to this day, but they more or less sign it to like, well, we're heroes and they're villains, so it's just a natural thing of life. As one day when Deku's training, he's called, like a messenger from the Grandmaster comes. He's like, the Grandmaster has summoned you. Deku's like, and he's like, alright. As he like comes, he doesn't know, he's like, his father's like, what are you doing? He's like, the Grandmaster summoned me. He's like, can't go looking like that. He's like, what? This is just my normal clothes. You're going to see the Grandmaster. Come here. As he gives Deku his like special thing, he's like, I had this specially made for you. It's like training gear and such, but it should work for now. He's like, yes, father. As he and his father is using what Scorpion wears during the tournament. As they're both walking up, they like kneel before the Grandmaster. He's like, Hisashi, I do not recall summoning you. Sorry, Grandmaster. My son said he was summoned by you. And when I gave him his first set of armor and such, it's like, let me see you, boy. As he stands up, he's like, yes, looks excellent. Now, Deku, your first assignment has come up. He's like, It's like, you are to execute this villain. This villain has been moving on some of the Shirai Ryu's business and turf. You are to kill him. It's like, is that all, Grandmaster? Yes, that is all. Well, he is notorious for hanging out with several gangs in this area. Be careful. This will be your first assignment. And if it so happens, your last assignment. He's like, yes, Grandmaster. As he sets off and gathers his gear, he grabs his little katana, his rope spears, and some kunai. At this point, Tundra and Smoke are being sent off on their first mission. Just so happens to be the same mission. They're like called in and they're wearing their armor. Yes, Grandmaster. You are to send off to kill this guy. He hangs out with gang members, leave none alive. They have been causing and he lists off the crimes that these ones have committed: murder, robbery, assault, drug use, drug possession, gang activity. They're like, yes, Grandmaster. As Tundra and Smoke are talking, like, are you excited, Smoke? Well, Smoke is more or less, are you excited, Tundra? He's like, why would I be excited? Because this is our first mission, yes, and we're going to kill some people. Do not be excited about killing, Smoke. On the other end, Zashi's like, you'll take your first life today, Deku. Make it a quick one. Like, yes, Father. As he sets off, he's like, alright. As he's like late at night and he's like traveled, he's like given like a week to get there. And Sub-Zero and them have also taken a while, are like trying to track him and trying to figure out the best time to do it. And then the night comes. Tundra and Smoke are on a building like, alright, so how should we do this? Well, he goes around there and gets drunk. And then those guys right there, as they like start pointing out, and this is like a legitimate gang hangout, so they have some they have a few people with guns, few people with quirks, and etc. And they're like, alright. As he's like, hold, Smoke. He's like, what? As he's like, look over there. As they see Deku creeping along, he's like, As he uses his quirk, he's like sneaking over the building. He's like, why? It's a Shirai Ryu. What should we do? It's like, our mission is to kill. His mission is to kill the gang member, not the Shirai Ryu. If he gets in the way, we will fight him. But we won't have to kill him necessarily. It's like, what about your brother, though? My brother has seen friends die. His anger will go away eventually, hopefully. But right now, we have our duty. Let us execute it. As they both jump down, both using sword, each, like, Tundra using ice swords, and, like, yeah, just ice swords and such. And Smoke using his speeds and such to, like, use it to overwhelm his opponents and end them quickly. With Deku using very much same techniques. He uses his fires and such, like, punch holes through people and cut people's heads off. He's very brutal and efficient. As they're all sneaking up on the last gang member. As he's like, who do you want? Take him down. Sub-Zero, do you want to, or should I? This gang member is freaking out. He's like, guys, where are you? As he's like using the radio, he's like, fuck, they're all dead. They're all dead. As he's like loading up a gun and like has some trigger ready. This guy's quirk is known as Speed Freak. He can go extremely fast, but only for short periods of time, much like a cheetah. He's like has some trigger at the ready just in case he needs it. So this guy who could usually go like 40 miles an hour and like 40 miles an hour pretty quickly, like pretty much like Ida, this guy can then go up to like 200 miles an hour in a split in like 30 seconds. So pretty quick. As Deku's like prepared, they're like, Tundra. Seems like the Shirai Ryu backed off. And as he like just appears before him, he's like, Speed Freak. The Shirai Ryu have marked you for death. He's like, oh, the Shirai Ryu, you guys are... I know about you guys, so what? You want money? Here, take it. It's like, you have dishonored and harmed some of our clan members. Prepare to die. As Speed Freak's like, not so fast, as he tries to blitz Deku, Deku immediately, like, hitting him in the leg, like, breaking, he's like, oh, my leg, what the fuck? As Deku then teleports, slicing him a couple of times, teleporting, punching him with such force, it cracks his entire head open. He then walks forward, steps on it, picks him up, sort of like picks him up, then slices off the head. Shirai Ryu, debts are paid. At this point, Smoke is like, stole the kill. Ugh. As he teleports down, Shirai Ryu. He's like, who are you? Lin Kuei. Like, this was supposed to be our first mission. What a coincidence. So it is I. As Tundra's like, Smoke, what are you doing? It's like, Smoke. Smoke. Is that your name? He's like, give me a second. I'm trying to think of a name for Deku, because he doesn't want to use his real name. They don't use their real names. They use, like, things. He's like, He's like, I am Bonfire. Or, yeah, Bonfire. It's like, Bonfire? It's like, we don't choose the names. Trust me. If I did, I wouldn't choose something like that. He's like, really? What would you choose? Fire Spectre. He's like, damn, that's a really good name. See? Shirai Ryu get cool names. It's like, yeah, well, we have some cool ones too. Like what? Sub-Zero? Come on, that was the name of your grandfather. He's like, you are the grandchild of Sub-Zero? Like, yes. Sub-Zero inflicted several casualties among the Shirai Ryu. That must be... As he, like, gets in a battle stance, have you come to fight a Shirai Ryu, much like your grandfather? What is your name? Like your grandfather? No. We came to kill this gang member for his activity. It's like, very well. Then our business is concluded, Lin Kuei. It's like, hold up a second. The Shirai Ryu have killed several of our members recently. Taking you and may provide some information. He's like, you can try to Smoke. And if we must fight, what is your name? I am Tundra. Smoke and Tundra, if we must fight, we will. As he takes up his stance, he's like, it's only take a second. As Smoke rushes in, he's like, come on! Using his moves and kicks, kicking him right in the side. As Deku, like, dodges right and left. He charges up a couple fire punches, and just right hooks, left hooks, uppercut. Taking jabs, punches, and kicks at Smoke, immediately just demolishing him and breaking several of his bones, sending him into barrels. Tundra is like, I did not wish to fight, but you have forced my hand. Your friend attacked first. As they both come blows again. Again and again. Frost, as Deku tries to teleport, he's like, Smoke uses as much same movements you do, as he uses his Ice Burst. Now, Smoke does give Sub-Zero a run for his money, but Deku is more skilled in hand-to-hand combat and more control, and has more precisely done with his quirk, throwing a few fireballs and burning Sub-Zero, but Sub-Zero doing equally amount, freezing and giving Deku frostbite, both of them coming to blows. At this point, Sub-Zero was sent to watch him. He's like, Sector and Sub-Zero were sent to watch. No. Cyrax and Sub-Zero were sent to watch, like, over smoking them. It's like, your brothers are taking an extremely long time. And once it hits the mark, this is unacceptable. As they walk in, seeing what's up, they just see fire, scorch mark, and frostpoint. As they see Deku and Sub-Zero fighting, like, whoa! As Deku gives Tundra a nice kick to the head. Smoke is like, do you two wish to keep on fighting? I have plenty enough steam left. As he looks over, Sub-Zero. And he's like, dang it. As he teleports away, he's like, oh, run away, coward. As they're like, oh. Cyrax and Sub-Zero are like, what were you doing? If there was a Shirai Ryu here, you should have signaled. It's like, we didn't even know you were following us. It's like, Cyrax is like, they do have a point. They did not know this. As Deku runs away, and in this last, he like has to get away pretty quickly. He's traveling by the sewers. It's like, dang it. Oh, that was close. The Lin Kuei, but those two students of the Lin Kuei are pretty pitiful. Except Tundra. He was pretty skilled. As he not runs away, but retreats and gets back home. As he approaches the thing, and at this night, several Shirai Ryu disciples, well, apprentices and such, were sent off and had their things done. Several of them making it back, with one or two not. Those few were captured by the Lin Kuei, who, oddly enough, each of them were targeting a lot of the same people. The ones who were not able to return were ones who were taken. And much of them had fought with the Lin Kuei, several of them killing each other, with Deku being one of the few who had not been forced to. As they all have retreated, they return back, each of them bringing proof of their kill. Deku bringing... well, there's nothing he really could bring. He grabbed the head. Like, or just brought the skull. He's like, what proof do you bring? As several of them show like fingers or something, or like a form, like an idol or a thing that they were notorious for knowing. He's like, what did you bring? Flame Spectre. Wait, Bonfire. As he produces the skull, several of them are like, what the? He's like, well done, Bonfire. Return home. All you, congratulations. And for those children, for the parents of those children who have not returned, I am sorry. As they return home, Deku returning home with his like first trophy, quote unquote. They were allowed to keep these, like as shown as what they have done. As he like pretty much puts it on like a little pedestal in his room, with his father coming in. Well done on your first mission, Deku. You did well. He's like, thank you, father. As he like takes a bow, saying, come, we must train for a bit. Like, may I ask why, father? Because, Deku. Or, well, Bonfire. My little Bonfire. I hear, from what I can tell, you had more trouble than it was worth. Well, he did not notice, but he saw that Deku's articles of clothing and such were damaged a bit, with, like, marks. He's like, what happened to your clothes, son? Bonfire. He's like, nothing, just some of them, a few gang members ganged up on me at one point. When I didn't notice, he's like, find that hard to believe, as they go on to spar for a bit. As Deku and him are having a pretty serious fight, Deku using a flame kick and kicking his father right in the face, sending him tumbling backwards like, ugh! Deku then pushing the offensive and then just grabbing him and then tossing him over. He's like, flame knee! Causing his father's like face to like crack a bit. Like, it's like, that's enough. Bonfire. Ugh. You can tell now you're one of the skilled. You will be one of the best in the clan's history. As he's like throwing off blood. Come now. As they like go inside to eat. And his brother has been doing some of the same training his brother has been doing when he was around 8. As they continue to train and train and train. Now it is the final year. The Lin Kuei have grown impatient saying that Sub-Zero, Sector, and others among them have grown impatient and have finally decided enough is enough. The Grandmaster not known to these. Sub-Zero and Sector leading a task force to go and fight and deal with the Shirai Ryu finally. With Shirai Ryu, several of them, like several of their best and such, have died. And I gotta go real quick. And now it comes back to it. As Deku is now again on another mission. Another mission dealing with more gang members. It's odd. Recently he's been dealing with a lot of gang members that have been doing something to upset the Shirai Ryu. Well, they're being paid to, at least. Just saying gang members killing gang members. Really profitable, is what the Grandmaster says. Keep these tensions flaring up, and the Shirai Ryu will have business for a long time. Now at this point he's going after another gang member hideout. One of more prominent hierarchy. He's like a top gang member. A rival wants him taken out, so that way he can push into his territory. As Deku's having to be more stealthy for this. Saying that they don't want his men killed, they just want him killed. Because if he's gone, he can switch them to his side. As Sub-Zero and them. Sub-Zero, like a team of Lin Kuei, have been assembled. Comprised of Cyrax, Sector, not Sub-Zero, Tundra, and Smoke. He's like, how should we do this? Well, we are told to kill all of them. So do it. As they're like, hang on a second. As they're like, several buildings away, they see Deku sneaking along. As he teleports onto a building and gets into the air shafts. Sort of sneaking his way in. With Sector and them wanting to just go after Deku, saying the Shirai Ryu takes more of a prominent role in killing them. Well, in them killing. That they are to kill him. So they sneak along and take the same way. Tundra and Smoke are the only ones who can fit in the air shafts because of Cyrax and Sector's equipment. It's more difficult for them to move in. So as they sneak along, Deku finally is able to sneak in to the boss's main bedroom in a way. So as he's waiting, like in a closet or something, or under the bed, he's like, the boss is like, making lots of money from those junkies lately. A few of those hit and runs have cost us quite a bit. But with All Might and the heroes around, business is kind of dangerous. But I'm making a killing. As he's taking something to eat, he looks much like Kano. It's like, wonder when one of those other ones are gonna try to bump me off. As Deku takes his way and sneaks up. Kano pretty much noticing this in his, one of the mirrors, he's like, oh, you thought you were sneaky. Takes a knife and tosses it at Deku as he deflects it. It's like, so, who are you? Bonfire. He's like, dumb name. Well, Bonfire, prepare to be extinguished. As they come rushing at each other, Kano throwing punches that hurt Deku quite a lot, considering he's an adult man who's very ripped. And he punches Deku a few times. Deku can feel that his bones are kind of cracking. It's like, ugh. Throws a few fire things. He's like, that all you got, boy? As he comes in punching Deku quite a few more times. Deku taking one of his kunai and slicing Kano right in, up his forearm. It's like, well, boy, you're gonna get hurt more for that. Tell me, who hired you, and I'll pay you. Tell me what they paid you, and I'll pay you triple. Deku's like, staying silent. It's like, silent but deadly, eh? I can work with that. As Kano comes rushing in again and again, just trying to overwhelm Deku, but thanks to Deku's ability and skill, he's able to deflect him. Eventually teleporting behind him, kicking him right behind the legs and just stabbing him straight through. He's like, oh! He's like, the Shirai Ryu have been ordered to kill, and we obey. As he, like, after running him straight through, he's like, oh, dang, kid, pretty good. As Deku brings takes his sword, well, he just pretty much snaps his neck. He's trying to figure out what to bring as a proof of sign. Then he just looks down at his chest with this giant heart monitor thing. Like, that could work. As he takes off the, like, eye thing and the heart chest thing, Kano's been at it for years, so he's made quite a killing. So as he, like, finished with his thing, Tundra and Smoke come in, like, straight out of the air vent. So they're like, Smoke, Tundra. Good to see you. Smoke and Tundra, Bonfire. Or Flame Spectre, which do you prefer? Neither matter to me. If you've come to die, so be it. It's like, well, we were told to kill this gang member, or gang leader. I've already beat you to it. Be gone. Unlike many, I have no urge to kill the Lin Kuei. Unless pushed to necessary. Unlike your Lin Kuei, who seems to seek us out, as Sector and Cyrax are busy slaughtering through the thing. Scratch that. You know what? It's not Kano he kills. It's another prominent gang member. It's Kano who has hired them to go kill them. As he finished off this gang member, who is known for a special sword, or like a special pair of knives that are specially engraved and made out of a nice type of metal that's very rare. As he takes the knives, with the Tundra on them coming out again, Deku, we were ordered to kill this gang member for his activity. It's like, well, I don't care. I'm done. As he goes to, like, leave, like, we cannot let you leave. Our mentors have ordered, our commander, officer, our team leaders have ordered us to take you out. He's like, so, you've come to fight again, have you? As he, like, kicks Sub-Zero back, and then, like, roundhouse kicks Smoke. He's like, well, it will not be as easy as you think. As he readies up. Smoke has gotten a lot better, and so has Sub-Zero. So they're fighting now. Deku, like, just barely holding the two of them off with Sub-Zero's ice burst, and Smoke's teleportation. Kind of difficult. He at one point grabs Smoke and just throws him into Sub-Zero. Then going to fight the two of them after they're down. Going to fight Smoke's just fighting him hand-to-hand combat. Deku uses a fire backhand to just smack Smoke away, knocking him out. As he's, like, laid up in the corner. With Sub-Zero, like, fine. Ice Burst, as he uses it again, but to a much larger degree and much more powerful degree. Using Ice Blast and such to try and freeze him, but then Deku using his Fireball to cancel it out, causing a nice little smoke screen. As Deku and Sub-Zero are not Sub-Zero, Tundra are listening around. Just listening for the slightest sound, so that way they can pounce on whatever. As that happens, they rush forward. As Deku hears a creak, he rushes forward, throwing several punches and kicking, all meeting their mark, as Sub-Zero is then thrown into a wall and falls unconscious. He's like, well, not Sub-Zero, Tundra. It's so confusing, I know. Because I've known him as Sub-Zero for so long, it's just Sub-Zero. It's like, well done, Tundra and Smoke. You two have grown quite powerful. Even hitting very well. But hopefully, you'll learn from this. Do not mess with the Shirai Ryu. As he teleports away, When he's on the building, Cyrax and Sector are waiting for him. It's like, Sector's like, so, Sub-Zero could... Tundra and Smoke couldn't deal with you. Cyrax is like, we need to go check up on them. It's like, do not worry, they are safe. I have no reason to kill them. Now, you might want to finish your job here. As he teleports away, taking the 2 knives. The gang leader is dead. Do what you wish. As he goes, before he teleports away, Sector launches something and it hits Deku right in the face. Like right behind. Oh, as it sends him tumbling. It's a compact rocket. Like a little impact grenade. Thanks to his armor, quote unquote, it saved him a bit. He wasn't just blown away instantly, but his armor is completely done for. And he still is like, and he throws up a bit, like, because the force that was impacted, it shook up his insides as it also hit him. It was like a very powerful punch to the gut. As he throws up a bit. He's like, oh. Cyrax is like, what are you doing, Sector? Ending another Shirai Ryu dog. He's like, Lin Kuei scum. Attacking someone when their back's turned. It's like, you are assassins, you have no room to talk. I kill those from the front, thank you very much. As Deku comes to rush towards Sector. Fighting Sector on even terms, even though Deku is smaller and not as strong with him since he's not an adult. His versatility with his quirk has provided him some excellent combos. As he's fire punch, uppercut, kicks him in the legs, and he actually uses his sword and slices Sector's face. Like, it doesn't kill him, he just has a very big scar. It's like, ugh, as Deku jumps up and roundhouse kicks him, and he's knocked unconscious. Do you wish to fight too, Cyrax? Like, how do you know my name? He just said it. Sector just said it. And I remember you. You were there on my first mission. Like, oh, so that's who you are. If we must fight, what is your name? I am Bonfire. Cyrax of Lin Kuei. Like, your manners are much more like Sub-Zero and Smoke's. He's like, others have deep hatred. But let us fight. As, I don't remember, is Cyrax like that? If he isn't, he is in this. Coming to fight him since it's a child. Coming to blows with him. As he, very quickly, much like his father, cuts off his saws and just kicks him and just takes him down. As he teleports away with the 2 knives in tow. He returns home to the Grandmaster. I have finished my duty, Grandmaster. Like, let me see what you have brought. As he presents the 2 knives. Well done. If you wish, you can change your name. He's like, Flame Spectre. Or Flame Wraith. There we go. Fire Wraith? Flame Wraith. There we go. Flame Wraith. He's like, very well, Flame Wraith. Go on. As he returns home, they're like, Bonfire. I was given a chance to rename myself, and I did. And they're like, oh, what did you choose? Flame Wraith. His little brother's like, oh, that's so cool. Inko's like, I'm not calling you that. Why? It's like, Bonfire, I like it, and I chose it. But he's like, it sounds so, mediocre. Like, fine, you can call me that. Just don't do it in public. His father like, well done, Flame Wraith. Now go earn the rest you have taken. At this point, Sub-Zero and all of them like hobble back to the Grandmaster's place. He's like, what happened to you? Did you take on the entire gang at once? He's like, no, we ran into somebody. Sub-Zero's like, you ran into another Shirai Ryu. Tell me, was it the one from before that kicked your butts? Them like Sector getting agitated, like Cyrax saying no, it is us. a recent one that has appeared, named Bonfire. It's like, this one gave you his name. Why? Because I asked. Tell me, how many times have you encountered him? He's like, this is the one that kicked Tundra and Smoke's ass before, correct? He's like, it is. And now he has taken 2 highly trained members. Next time, I will search for him myself. And Tundra is like, Sub-Zero's like, you disappoint me, brother. I thought you could easily take on one Shirai Ryu dog, but it seems I was mistaken. As he then leaves, Tundra feeling like he's sort of failed in a way, with Smoke and the rest, with Smoke feeling that he needs to get much stronger. He was backhanded into a corner of the wall and was down. Sector and Cyrax being humiliated, being taken down by a mere child in their eyes. And Deku's right now is just having a nice sleep, like just having the knives mounted on his wall. And that will be the end of that. I hope y'all have enjoyed this, and I hope y'all have a nice day, nice night, nice life. And to continue forward, I found this in the bucket. I'll start doing them after recordings. If you guys want, I'll choose one from a bucket if you want, have it open, shake it up if you want. But this will be the next Deku What If. I'll finish the Bell What If, then, well, if you want me to finish the Bell What If, since it's at 20 parts now, I'll stop the Bell What If for a period of time, so I can continue the Scorpion What If. And then, again, thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a nice day, nice night, nice life.